The Detroit Lions went into the season with only 4 wide receivers on their active roster and has since made that number 6. Now, a guy we have yet to see play really is Isaiah Williams, a guy we were rooting for in the preseason. He wound up making the 53-man roster. The Detroit Lions then put Donovan Peoples-Jones and Tom Kennedy on the practice squad. They bring in Tim Patrick and Allen Robinson, and now those 2 individuals are elevated and part of the 53-man roster. Now, this guy that we're going to talk about in this video is a name that's been coming up quite a bit. A much different take than Davante Adams. But somebody asked me on Twitter, said, hey, Derek, what do you think about if the Browns were trying to get rid of Amari Cooper, that we've been hearing his name? I've even heard Dallas trying to get this guy back. So I figured I would inject my 2 cents on it, give you my thoughts on whether or not I would want Amari Cooper on this team, and would it be a good move for the Detroit Lions? But I guess beyond that is it a realistic option? You got those Davante Adams. I would put this, if Davante Adams is S tier unrealistic, I will tell you where I think this is going to be at the end of the video, and I think you might be a little bit surprised. Now, where's this coming from? The Cleveland Browns are terrible. They're terrible. They dropped to 1-4 yesterday, I believe it was. Whatever record they have, they are terrible. You got Deshaun Watson playing uninspired football. Whether or not that might be the biggest mistake in NFL history, 230 million smackers, man, guaranteed. And they've got weapons over there, but this guy just doesn't seem to be there mentally. What's between the ears is not really clicking at this point. I don't know if he'll ever get back to where he used to be with Houston. And now they're talking about, and this is a team that just traded for Jerry Jeudy not too long ago. So it would be kind of weird if they were to give up Amari Cooper, but the rumors are out there. Now, the Cleveland Browns are not out of it yet. The NFC North is kind of a hot mess right now. The Pittsburgh Steelers are now 3-2. The Cleveland Browns are still in it. The Baltimore Ravens are now 3-2. They're very much in it. Even at 1-4 right now, the Cincinnati Bengals are in it. So this would take more of a downfall from the Cleveland Browns for this to even be a thing. But here is why this is coming up. It's coming up because the Cleveland Browns are in shambles. They're probably going to be at the bottom of the NFC North, even with the way that Cincinnati being 1-4. But here is this is why potentially people are talking about Amari Cooper being traded. He restructured. This is coming from Spot Track. So not too long ago, just a few months ago, in July of 2024, says he converted $18.79 million of his salary into a signing bonus, adding $5 million in incentives with Cleveland, and that cleared $15 million in cap space because he was supposed to earn $20 million, and he did earn $20 million, but then he's got that. They made that 18-point. The signing bonus gave him incentives in $5 million, and basically converted $15 million of the 20 he got into a cap space. That's what the signing bonus can do. But here's why this is coming up. In 2025, which is next year, Amari Cooper is currently 30. He will be a free agent. The contract is voided for the remainder of the 4 years. So it's very similar to how the Detroit Lions did DJ Chark. As a matter of fact, this is the last year that DJ Chark is on our books. We signed him to a 1-year deal, but it was like a 3-year deal in paperwork terms. And we gave him 10 point something guaranteed, and these 2 years, last year and this year, were voided. So we're still paying, we're on the books, we're paying him, but he's already been paid fully. And after this year, he'll come off. All right. And we won't owe DJ Chark any more money. Now, I saw this is from a website that they don't think right now that Amari Cooper is going to be traded at all. You've got the combination. You got Nick Chubb coming back. You've got right now, it looks like the quarterback is the guy that's holding you back. I'm even seeing maybe some things coming in about Jameis Winston being a better option than Deshaun Watson. But let's take a look. Amari Cooper, I know what y'all going to say. He old. Y'all be killing me with that old stuff, man. If you're old, quote unquote, you're over the age of 30, but you're still performing, then there's no point. Now, not the biggest guy, 6'1", 30 years old. He just turned 30, so he will be 30 the remainder of the season. Look at this. 2015, I remember this draft, man, picked 4th overall to the then Oakland Raiders. Now, this is where I want to get the conversation going. And this is why I love making these videos and having this dialogue. Is this something you would do? All right, let's take a look at his numbers. This year, a measly through 5 games, he's got 20 receptions. One of them were called back an 82-yard touchdown, 208 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 10.1 average. I would assume, I have not looked at this, that this might be one of the worst statistical years of his career, and he's been doing this a long time. So let's find out. And this guy has been in the league a long time. Had some down years as he was leaving Oakland, went to the Dallas Cowboys and had 2 of his 4 years there over 1,000 yards, came to the Cleveland Browns, and right now 2 of his 3 years over 1,000 yards. This guy is coming, and this was with Deshaun Watson last year. I said that this was probably the lowest average of his career, and right now it's shaping up to be just that. Now, of course, you've got 13 games to go. Or I'm sorry, 12 games to go. A lot of football left to be played, but statistically, this is shaping up. He is to be one of his worst years statistically. And this is guy still doing it at a high level. You cannot call a guy washed that is literally coming off of a 1,200-yard season. To put that in perspective, Amari St. Brown, who was 24 years old, was 15-15 last year, right? So the question is, do I think he's going to be available? He might, because there's a caveat as well. If he is not on the Browns active, if he's not on their roster, if he does not get extended by the first day of the new league year in 2025, he will incur a dead cap. The Browns will have a dead cap hit of $22.6 million. Now, I don't think that's enough to not move on from him, because again, DeAndre Hopkins, his cap hit was bigger than that, and the Browns and the Arizona Cardinals let him go. So I don't think that that's the de facto factor. I think whether or not the Browns need to do something next year, they either have to keep him or they have to let him walk. So could he be traded? Now, I think that right now that's tough because the Browns are very much in it. So will he be traded? I don't know. The better question is, should the Detroit Lions trade for him? This one is okay. Before y'all in the comment section, just hear out as I try to reason why they could do this. The Detroit Lions do not have, you've got St. Brown and Jamison Williams, Isaiah Williams, Tim Patrick, I think Khalif Raymond. Khalif Raymond is under contract. I think he'll be entering the last year. I think this could be it though. But you know that as far as wide receivers, you know that St. Brown and Jamison Williams are under contract. J-Mo will be going into year 4 of 5. So then you've got Isaiah Williams, Tim Patrick, Allen Robinson, Donovan Peoples-Jones, Tom Kennedy. Outside of potentially Khalif Raymond, the big 3 or the main 3, there's no other wide receiver on the roster. So if the Detroit Lions were to trade for this guy, then they would no doubt be trading for him, in my opinion, to extend him. But would he be a Super Bowl push move for the Detroit Lions? So not sure what the Lions would do there. I'm trying to reason and see what does Amari move the needle over any receiver we have? Yes, he does, but it comes at a cost for the Detroit Lions. They would have to give up a draft pick, and I'm going to be real with you. We just traded for a Brown wide receiver at the trade deadline last year who played with Amari Cooper and Donovan Peoples-Jones. I do not have the biggest faith in Brad Holmes trading for wide receivers. I'm scarred by Trinity Benson. I'm scarred by Donovan Peoples-Jones. I'm scarred by the Denzel Mims. It came basically cost-free because he didn't make the team. And that draft pick was conditional based on whether he made the team, and it was later in the draft. So, paying Amari Cooper, if I'm not mistaken, his signing bonus has already been paid by the Cleveland Browns. So the rest of the year, the Lions will be on the hook for whatever his salary is for the rest of the season. Let me see what it is. So his base salary was $1.2 million. So you divide that into 17 or 18 weeks, and whatever week he was traded to the Detroit Lions, that's what they would pay him. But we would have to give up draft capital. What would the Browns want? Amari would move the needle. He would definitely he would move the needle over Tim Patrick and Allen Robinson, but at what cost? So I'm going to put it on you. Would I do this? I'm going to say, if I had to choose between Amari Cooper and a legit edge rusher, I got to take the edge rusher. And honestly, I'm a bit troubled by Brad Holmes' wide receiver trade track record. But now let me put it before you. Browns want to trade Amari Cooper. I don't know, what would you give up? We already know what we'd have to pay him. He is not under contract for next year. What would you give up for Amari Cooper? I have a feeling that the majority of you guys in the comment section are going to veto. You're going to be against this because of Donovan Peoples-Jones. So let me ask you this. Would you trade so this is a multi-layered question. Would you trade for Amari Cooper? Yes or no? What would you give up for Amari Cooper? Put that there too. And do you have PTSD from not only the Donovan Peoples-Jones Browns trade, but from all the wide receiver trades Brad Holmes has made? So my thing is, would I do this? It depends. It depends. Let me tell you this. If we managed to pull off, but this is 2 picks now that we're talking about. It does get interesting, because now if you were to finagle the Browns, even with the DPJ stuff, if you were to bring Amari Cooper on this team, so your wide receiver core is St. Brown, Jamison Williams, Amari Cooper, and he would probably be the biggest. He's not the tallest, but Amari Cooper weighs, what does he weigh? They don't have his weight on there, but he's not a small guy by any means, right? As far as size, thickness. So if you were to Amari Cooper for a late round pick, right? And you were to bring in a guy like Trey Hendrickson, I'd take that. I would do that. I would do that because our offense it'd be tough to stop. I think if we bring any legit wide out in here, no disrespect to Tim Patrick, I'm not trying to, if we bring any legit wide receiver and Amari Cooper, even at and let's not play about 30 years old. Our general manager loves him over 30. Let's keep it a buck. So when y'all put 30, he's washed, he's 30. This is right up Brad Holmes' alley. Right up Brad Holmes' alley. So would I do this? Only if we were able to bring in a decent pass. I'm talking about above average. I don't want, if the Lions address anything, it's got to be the pass rush. It's got to be, and if you're going to, so again, same kind of scenario with Devontae Adams. If you're going to go wide receiver or anything on offense, right? You're saying that you're gonna put the games on your offense, and then you're gonna bring in a guy of a lower tier pass rush, or maybe no guy at all, right? So are the Browns going to give up on him? Their season would have to be lost. And right now, looking at the AFC North, it's kind of wide open. The Ravens, with that horrendous start, they could very well run away with this thing. And if they run away, there's only one AFC North team that's going to the playoffs. The AFC is too good right now, too bunched up to send multiple teams from that division. So would I do it? Only if the perfect scenario presented itself. Super cheap. We would have to give up what though? And would the Browns be willing to take the cap hit? That is the dead money for next year. But that's going to happen regardless. So they have to extend him, or they're going to incur that $2.9 million in dead cap. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you can remember the questions, put those down there as well. Again, any other things that you guys have that you want me to make videos about and get my opinion, have no problems doing that. I run a lot of stuff, so I might miss your comment. So make sure you do that. All right. This channel is brought to you by viewers, subscribers, and members just like you. You guys could be anywhere else on YouTube, but you choose to rock with me. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions.